Hello there and welcome to another edition of Culture Mosaic. This week's edition is packed with exciting ongoings of the cultural scene here in Vietnam. We'll weave through stories on the fidget spinner, currently trending amongst youths here in the country, or a community art hub called Zero Station in the southern metropolis of Ho Chi Minh City. Then it's off to Nha Trang to discover an interesting model of co-working space. All that and more in this edition of Culture Mosaic. Fidget Spinner, a new creative playground of Vietnamese youth. Zero Station, a meeting point for artists to connect arts with local community. And later on, the unique co-working space model in Nha Trang City. Into the news now from Culture Mosaic this week. Theatrical audiences in Hanoi will have the chance to enjoy excellent plays at the Hanoi Opera House. This is part of a series of plays themed unforgettable dramas. It is an effort to bring quality art performances closer to the public. Kafka's Chalk Circle is one of the most successful plays of the youth theater from the last 3 years and will be chosen to begin the series of plays staged at the Hanoi Opera House in August. Also, the most famous dramas performed by the top 5 theaters in Vietnam are now ready to be watched. Tickets for shows will range from $7 to $30 apiece. Burial ceremonies reveal many things about a country's culture. Through the research of ancient Vietnamese graves, scientists have been able to learn more about the spiritual life of Vietnamese ancestors. In order to understand more about Vietnamese history, a workshop on burial ceremonies in Vietnam was held at the Natural History Museum on Sunday, July 30th, attracting many experts and students. At the workshop, more than 150 Vietnamese students had the chance to learn about the ancient burial ceremonies such as sky burial, land burial, and boat-shaped burial, as well as asking questions about ancient burial ceremonies in Vietnam. The conference was a chance to help Vietnamese youth learn more about the history and cultural resources of the country. Văn Ký is one of the great names in Vietnam's music. He celebrated his 90th birthday on Monday this week. The event was attended by domestic and overseas Vietnamese music lovers alike. His musical career is highly regarded and has been described as a valuable asset for Vietnam's music industry. Mr. Ký has composed about 400 works ranging from opera to chamber music. Many are still being performed until today. The first ever human library project has just opened here in Hanoi. Instead of offering books, the library gathers people in order to tell stories about themselves. The project first started in Denmark in 2000. Since then, it has spread to more than 70 countries worldwide. In July 2016, the project came to Vietnam. This year's event in Hanoi attracted speakers who have a special influence on Vietnamese youth. With its meaningful message, the event attracted an audience of different ages and nationalities. After 2 successful seasons in Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City, the Human Library is expected to share more meaningful stories to audiences across the country. A photo exhibition from French photographer Rehan was showcased on Tuesday at the Museum of Ethnology here in Hanoi. Its theme revolves around members of different ethnic groups in Vietnam and their cultures.
For French photographer Rehan, this portrait of a Roma ethnic woman is a special one, as it took him 3 years to finally access the location and meet the subject. Rehan and his crew had to travel over 50 kilometers of mountainous roads and spend over 3 hours to reach Morai village, Con Tum province. Only 12 costumes like this are left in the village, and they are the villagers' most valuable assets.
They say me that now they don't know how to make the costume, and but I said that I would love to get one costume. So the chief of the village allowed me to get one costume for my collection.
The idea came to Rehan after his second trip to northwestern Vietnam in 2012. He saw the ethnic cultures are slowly being forgotten, so he took it upon himself to introduce these cultural values to the public through his lens. Over 6 years, Rehan has traveled around Vietnam and has taken many pictures of members of 48 out of 54 ethnic groups.
I think Rehan's pictures have stories behind them. You know, he's very good at human relationships. So it isn't simply about meeting people, taking a picture and leaving. He wants to get to know people. And I think that's really nice to be able to discover that all of these faces are real people. And all of these people have different identities.
Những cái bức ảnh nó sống động ấy, để có hồn ấy, thì đó là cả một quá trình giao lưu giữa người nhiếp ảnh và lại người dân. Tôi cho rằng là đây là một cái bộ ảnh rất là quý để cho chúng ta tiếp tục lưu giữ những cái giá trị văn hóa của dân tộc.
Rehan also brought along representatives from the Hmong people in Sapa and the Cơ Tu people from Quảng Nam province. He believes that having pride in their own culture will help people preserve it better. Rehan plans to take more pictures in order to finish his collection of ethnic groups in Vietnam. He also has a dream of bringing representatives from all groups together in Hội An at a festival that will promote Vietnam's image throughout the world.
A global trend since early 2015, fidget spinners have now come to Vietnam, attracting notice from youths all over the country. In today's Culture and Lifestyle, we'll learn more about these tiny and interesting gadgets and see how Vietnamese spinner players, also known as fidgeters, stand out in the unique world of spinners.
Diamond spinner. Patina brass spinner with Dongsun drum theme. And a spinner the shape of a lotus flower. These are three designs made by Nguyễn Quốc Đạt, a spinner player as well as a designer. He was among the first of Hanoi spinner players as well as the first to create Vietnamese spinners.
Trước đây thì mình học về công nghệ thông tin, nhưng mà bản thân mình thì rất thích làm những cái món đồ chơi handmade, chẳng hạn như là gấp giấy origami hoặc là các cái món đồ da thủ công. Nên là mình khi mà thấy cái spinner này thì mình đã muốn thiết kế và làm ra một chiếc spinner riêng cho bản thân.
A spinner is a small toy that spins in the hand. The structure of a spinner consists of at least two wings centered around a bearing. However, creating a spinner is not as simple as it looks. First, a CNC machine cuts a block of metal into smaller pieces. Next, a piece is shaped into a structure, which could be two wings or even five wings like this lotus spinner. Lastly, a pattern is printed with a laser printer. Making a spinner can take from a week to a month. Therefore, creating a spinner is not just a hobby, it is a passion.
Đơn giản thì nó chính là một con quay, nhưng để tạo ra một con quay này thì nó yêu cầu rất là nhiều. Từ chất liệu thì mình phải chọn được một chất liệu nào đủ cái độ bền. Nếu như dùng nhựa hoặc gỗ thì nó có độ rạn nứt, mình chơi nó sẽ nhanh bị hỏng. Nên bên mình phải chọn làm từ những cái kim loại nguyên khối, đồng hoặc là inox hoặc là khối. Chất liệu nó đóng vai trò khá quan trọng trong quá trình làm spinner. Spinner có một cái câu chuyện dẫn dắt và là mang một ý nghĩa đặc biệt. Chẳng hạn như cái câu thần chú này thì nó là một câu thần chú rất là phổ thông của Phật giáo. Người ta mang cái câu chú này trong người nhằm mục đích là bảo hộ hoặc là cầu bình an.
From his passion for spinners, Đạt started a community of spinner players called Hanoi Spinner Fidget, attracting Hanoi spinner fans to practice and share new tricks every weekend.
Spinner thì là em thích nó qua các cái kiểu biểu diễn trích ở trên mạng ấy, thì là em có xem qua và lúc đấy là em thử thực hành. Thường thì spinner có rất nhiều kỹ thuật biểu diễn, ví dụ như kiểu tung hứng qua tay này, hoặc là đưa spinner qua chân.
One of the most interesting things about spinners is not just how you play, but how you see them.
Mỗi chiếc spinner mang hình dáng khác nhau ấy, khi mà mình quay và chơi nó sẽ cho những cái hiệu ứng khác nhau dưới ánh mặt trời. Và muốn nhìn được cái hiệu ứng đó thì chúng ta phải nhìn qua camera của điện thoại hoặc máy ảnh, và ở dưới ánh nắng của mặt trời, bắt buộc phải dưới ánh nắng của mặt trời, vì ánh sáng của trong đèn điện của chúng ta không đủ bước sóng để nhìn được cái hiệu ứng đó.
Vì ban đầu em cũng có nhiều thói quen xấu, nên là em muốn thử dùng để xem nó có tác dụng như thế nào. Nó cũng có mang tính giải tỏa tâm lý lúc mình căng thẳng, hay là vừa đi làm về thì có thể ngồi thư giãn.
Just one spin can melt away the pressure. Spinners help people relax after a long day of work or study. That is why spinners have become so popular. They are exactly what bustling modern life needs, a bit of simple joy.
Culture Mosaic is a weekly journal here on VTV International, looking to give you, our viewers, the latest scoop on the cultural scene here in Vietnam. Whether it be the diversity and richness of century-old heritage or the dynamic and exciting vibe of the modern Vietnam, we hope to bring you the many facets of the cultural and artistic soul here in the country. So don't go away, as we have many more news coming your way. Contemporary art is on its wave of development here in Vietnam, especially in big cities such as Ho Chi Minh City. In order to create a space for artists to practice and bring contemporary art closer to the local community, Zero Station was established among several contemporary art centers in the dynamic southern metropolis. What kind of space has it offered with its residency projects? We'll find out more in this week's corner of On the Mic.
Zero Station is a combination of studio, exhibition space and community programs for domestic and international contemporary artists. The center seeks to enrich and deepen dialogue about art and life and has become a popular destination for young artists. With the slogan, "The Place to Play," Zero Station has launched several community programs in Ho Chi Minh City as well as other cities in Asia, where artists work to translate art into local life.
Thank you so much for joining our program. So Zero Station is a very special name. So can you tell us more about the idea behind this name?
Station here means a metaphor of the train station. The train station is a place of the possibility. So people meet each other in the train station, and after that they go everywhere. And they don't need to stay in the train station. So this place for meeting. People can challenge their identity. And logically, if you want to challenge your identity, you have to be zero first. And if you need to be something else, which is more than you or different with that you before, so you need to be empty.
So what kind of space does Zero Station want to create for Vietnamese artists?
The guests of Zero Station come from many age, many different career, and that's what we think about the benefit of making the community. So the community of Zero Station is not just the young people, but community of Zero Station should be something that involves the people who can be open for the new things to come and who can be open to make things to be new.
Along with Zero Station, other art spaces have opened across the country for artists, including The Factory, Sun Art and Six Space. Most of these centers are still new, but they have quickly become well known in the contemporary art world. They provide artists with a place to show their artwork and to share the love and knowledge of contemporary art through a number of workshops and talks.
Zero Station has also invited many foreign artists from other countries. So what do you think about the connectivity between Vietnamese and foreign artists here in Zero Station?
When we think about the contemporary art, we don't think about it locally. We always think about it as the practice that is shared by the at least the regional community. At this moment, Zero Station is running the project that we call the Asian Invisible Station. For this project, we try to set up the platform to connect the Asian artists and the Vietnamese artists. And this project is quite complicated, both in the geographic core term and also in the conceptual term.
The Asian Invisible Station project was co-organized by Zero Station and the Japan Foundation Asia Center. Started in August 2016, the project gathers Vietnamese and Asian artists to create works in communities in Ho Chi Minh City as well as other Asian cities that share common cultural features. Saigon Unfolded is part of the Asian Invisible Station project. Two artists, one from Indonesia and one from Vietnam, together drew murals on alley walls in Yogyakarta and Ho Chi Minh City. This is also what makes Zero Station different, as many of its projects take place in local communities.
Zero Station has carried out several projects in local community. So how has local people responded to your projects there and how they react to the arts?
Actually, it's a very interesting process and it's come from two ways. For example, we have the project that we call the Graffiti in the Alley. And in the 1 month, we invite the graffiti artists from Hanoi and from Ho Chi Minh City and also from abroad to come to the alley and to make the graffiti work on the wall, very big wall. In the beginning, the graffiti artists, they also anxious about the people because the graffiti artists, they always work in the night. They don't want the people to see their work. But this time, they have to work in front of the people. But at the same time, the people who live in the alley, they also very anxious because it is the first time they have seen someone to come to their place and to draw in front of them. But at the end of the project, they became very close. In the middle of the project, one of the people in the alley approached to the artist and asked, "May you paint my wife's face on the wall because tomorrow is her birthday." So I think that moment is very important. Why? Because the people, the first time they think that the arts belong to them. And they can create the dialogue with the artist. And the artist is very happy because this is the first time they think what they do can relate to the people.
So how has the participation of foreign artists affected the connection between the local community with contemporary arts?
We invite a group of Korean artists to come to Zero Station and to stay in 1 month. And in 1 month, every day they do a performance art piece in front of the people in the alley. And they also do the practice of the recycle music instrument. And at the end of the project, they invite all the people who live in the alley to join with them in the festival. In this kind of project, the communication between the art and life go further than the previous project because in this time, the foreign artists had no similar language with the people who live in the LA. And what they communicate just only by art and culture.
Can you tell us more about the future projects of Zero Station?
We just finished the workshop project, Asian guests to come and to speak to the art community here. So we are editing the clips and which we would like to broadcast it very soon for the educational purpose. We also make in the process of making the publication for the workshop, and we also have the plans to organizing the exhibition of the group of female artists in Southeast Asia. So there's quite a lot of work we have to do and we are preparing to do now.
Once again, thank you so much for joining our program. And I do hope that the future projects of Zero Station will be successful.
Thank you very much.
Co-working is a style of work that involves a shared working environment, often an office and independent activity. But what if a co-working space can offer you more than just a place to work? In this week's edition of Connecting Cultures, our reporter will take you to Nha Trang City, where we can get an insight into a unique model of co-working space in the city, which aims to benefit the local community.
Hello and welcome to this week's edition of Connecting Cultures. I'm walking along one of the most beautiful beaches in the world. But today, instead of discovering any seas activities, I'm taking you to the only co-working space in Nha Trang. Now, co-working space is a term that you can find many in Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh cities. But what makes this one so different? Let's come and find out.
In early 2015, Live-In Collective was founded in the beach city of Nha Trang by a couple from California, USA, Ken Ho and Marianne Gallim. After years of living and working in different countries like the US, China, and Japan, Ken decided to return to Vietnam, his homeland, and start his own business.
Both Marianne and I come from very different backgrounds. Marianne is a fashion designer, I'm an engineer. So when we created this project, we wanted to be creative. We wanted to do something that's impactful to the community. Being a part of the community is being to work with other business owners here in Nha Trang. And the collective market is bringing different type of culture, different type of business together under one roof and kind of basically promote each other and work with each other. Collectively, we can make a difference, and that's the key.
The goal of Live-In Collective is to make a positive impact in the community. In the past 2 years, the space has hosted art exhibitions, charity events, craft beer festivals, and the first LGBT seminar in Nha Trang. So far, Live-In has held about 10 collective markets, where street vendors come and sell their products. Parts of the profits from these markets are donated to charity events.
What we do is we invite vendors to come here that want to sell their products and just to introduce themselves to the city. It's lower risk for designers to just do a one-time event rather than having to sell every day in a store.
I think what I've gained is I've gained an appreciation for local culture, local way of doing things. But also we can be something unique and being different by using my experience or my knowledge internationally. We always want Live-In Collective to be a center of Nha Trang, where it's a community space where different businesses, different culture, different type of people come together and share each other's viewpoints or share each other's resources or help each other grow and make Nha Trang, a unique, a beautiful city, artistic, cultural, creative, a fun place to be.
What is special about products sold at Live-In is that they are made by local people and expats in Nha Trang. Quỳnh Trần, a young local designer, has worked with Live-In Collective for 3 years, introducing traditional clothing products to tourists.
Giữa mình và Live-In có một kết nối chung là hai bên đều muốn đem những sản phẩm của Việt Nam để giới thiệu cho thế giới, cùng với lại những người đi du lịch, người ta thích đến Nha Trang và muốn khám phá về vẻ đẹp của Nha Trang cũng như Việt Nam mình. Nên mình muốn đem sản phẩm của mình và những sản phẩm mà Live-In đã sưu tập mang đến cho thế giới.
There's a part of me that want to make a difference here in Vietnam. basically share with Vietnam my experiences and my thoughts, and possibly inspire Vietnam to change as well. And it's basically sharing, learning about my roots, learning about my culture, but at the same time sharing what I've known or what I've experienced.
Live-In Collective is a collection of many things in one unique space. It's where expats retreat for a taste of home, where locals take part in new events, where tourists stop by to shop and eat, and where creative minds meet to share ideas.
And that is also wrapped up this edition of Culture Mosaic. If you would like to provide any feedback or comment on anything you've seen here on our show, please feel free to write to us at vtvinternational@vtv.vn. You can also log on to our website at vtv4.vn or our YouTube channel at vtv4go for more of our program. And don't forget to join us next week for another episode of Culture Mosaic. Until then, goodbye for now.